Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Love you, baby.
Why do you love love?
Why do I love love?
Yeah.
Because it's blessed. I honestly don't understand why people don't love love. To be honest, love is blessed. I think I'm on the extreme side of things. Like I am a super romantic. Like I love all that cheesy stuff, like the movies and like the fireworks and the roses, and he like goes to the airport. You know those ones where he goes to the airport and like they're at the gate and he's about to leave and like he turns around and she's there. Like that type of stuff. Like I love that stuff. I love that stuff. Okay, you know what I have a problem with? People who don't like Valentine's Day. This is actually like something that I fight mans on every year. Actually I don't, but like I internally fight them. Because I don't understand why people don't like Valentine's Day. People are always like, why do you need a day to like tell somebody that you love them? Why don't you tell somebody that you love them like 364 days a year? And like that's how I feel like they're saying it. Like with their head just, to me, that makes no sense. Because every holiday is that. Look at Thanksgiving. Why do we have Thanksgiving? Why do you need one day to be thankful? You should be thankful 364 days outside of Thanksgiving, most definitely. It doesn't encourage like the absence of Thanksgiving on all other days of the year. If you look at your birthday, why do we celebrate your birthday? Your birthday is a celebration of life, but nobody's like, oh, why do you celebrate your birthday? You should celebrate the fact that you have life every other day of the year. And that's how I feel about Valentine's Day. I just don't understand why people are so upset about Valentine's Day being a day dedicated to show love to somebody. Like my dad, you've met my dad.
I have.
He's a great guy.
Love that guy.
He's a great guy. That guy raised me, and I'm so fortunate. He raised me in an atmosphere of love, like extreme love. Like, how many ladies you got?
No?
Yeah.
5.
What? Am I one of them?
You're the number one.
Ah, Daddy! I always used to sleep in my dad's bed every single night. I don't think there was one. Like sometimes I would sleep other places, and like as I grew up, like a little bit more than this, then I got to share a room with my brother. But when I was around this age, I would sleep with him every single night. Every single night. Actually, I have like this really funny story about how he would always be sitting on the edge of the bed watching TV, and I would sit on his lap and like play with his neck and like do weird stuff. And he would always like shake his knee, and that would like put me to sleep. So anytime I would sit on him, he would always be like, shaking his knee up and down. And now, like as a grown woman, I like shake myself sometimes I shake myself to sleep, or like I just do that because it's soothing. It's really weird, but yeah, we were inseparable. So I grew up in a really loving family. Not just grew up, my family is fairly loving now as well. But yeah, like I had a really great childhood. My parents did everything for me, which I'm so grateful for. And I think my dad, in terms of like doing everything for their children, I think that he kind of had a unique edge to it, because he was doing things that I don't think most dads do. My dad was doing a lot of things. My mom, she's a nurse, and so she was working overseas for I think maybe like 2 or 3 years. At least, honestly, it felt like that long. So, and my dad essentially had to take care of us alone for those couple of years. I think it was in those couple of years that I kind of really, not in it, because like when I was a kid, I was just like, like anytime he would make me mad, I'd be like, I want my mom back. But outside of those 2 years, I really started appreciating like everything that he did. My dad would, okay, like he would cook. He cooks the most probably in my house. Like he cooks for all of our special events. If it's like Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's my dad that wakes up at like 4 a.m., starts cooking, making everything. He cooks, he would clean, of course, do the laundry, wake us up every morning at like 6 a.m. before he goes to work, make sure that there's breakfast for us to eat. And then my dad would do like, and here's where it starts getting a little like non-traditional, is that like my dad would like braid my hair like every Sunday night before I would go to school, or like straighten it even. Like my dad would just be there like taking his time, pressing my hair straight. Yeah, like he would do all types of things, take me to the hairdresser, wherever. Like I think that because I grew up with parents that would literally do quite anything to make me happy, to keep me comfortable, to make sure that I knew that they loved me, I think that translates now for how I receive love or see love. Now I know that like there are people that would do anything for you if they love you.
I think loving my siblings is my ability to be able to be who and what they need me to be in any given moment. I feel like it's something that I had to grow into, to mature into, and to understand that, you know, sometimes what I want to be to them is not what they need from me. You know what I mean? If I want to sit there, you know, play big sister and be like, this is what you should be doing, don't do that, do this. But what if they just need me to vent? What if they just need me to be a shoulder to lean on? You know, what if they just need me to be a friend in that moment? What if they need me to just be a playmate and just play with them in that moment? And I've learned that that's how, you know, anyone should be loved. And that's how, you know, especially my siblings, that's how I love them. Is I've just made it a point to be what they need me to be in that moment, and be okay with that. You know, sometimes I have to be, you know, the mom and as the older sibling, and sometimes I'm just the friend, and sometimes, you know, I'm the mentor. Whatever it is that they need me to be in that moment, you know, that's how I love my siblings. And I feel like the bond that's just created and the trust that there is between, you know, Allison and I, and even my two youngest siblings, it just comes from the fact that they know that if they need me to be this person, you know, I'm going to be that. I feel like loving my siblings is just my ability to be what they need me to be.
I feel like people traditionally associate marriage with older couples that are parents, but I get to see a lot of young couples who truly embody what a, you know, marriage, a young romantic marriage looks like on a daily basis, and I think that's beautiful.
Tiff told me this, and I feel like he told me to prepare it, but I didn't really prepare what to say because I wanted to do it off the cuff. But now that I'm here, I probably should have prepared because, you know, flood of emotions. But I guess what I'll say, just to be very brief and just to be very quick, is that first and foremost, I really appreciate what you do and who you are in my life. For those who know me very well, I'm very eccentric, I'm very weird. I'm assuming it's not easy being married to me. I have wild ideas. I'm like, one day I'm there, next day I'm there, and, you know, just to be able to have a wife that's so supportive and so loving. And even when I was thinking tonight about how to honor you, God was just giving me just a lot of dates that happened in our lives, you know, from the first time we met, October 16th, outside of those doors, to Oh yeah, no, I really like. Usually, I'm very forgetful, but when it comes to these things that have really like been a staple in my heart, you know, I remember November 11th. That was our first date. We went to the gym right after CR that we had on Thursday. 5 a.m. I took her to the gym. The first time we kissed in a holy way. You know, December. I think it was November 27th, 2016. To the first time I spoke to PK about you. December 3rd. To when we got engaged. What it shows me is that you made an impact in my life. You know, there's only 2 dates that I remember in my life. The one is when I gave my life to Christ and when I met you. Because that is when my life completely shifted, and I love you so much. And I want to take this time in front of all of CR to tell you that I love you and I honor you so much.
Oh, give it up for them as they go. Man, I love love. I'm not crying, you are. Anyway.
When did you notice that like you loved music and creating music?
I noticed it at a young age when I started like sacrificing what I used to do for it. I used to play basketball first. I used to play sports first. I used to skip practice to make music. I used to like skip doing my homework to make music, right? That's when I began to think to myself like, oh, this is serious. It's more than just a pastime. This is something I love to do, right? I usually set the vibe. Sometimes I'm in big studios like this. Usually I don't really care. I'm in my room where it's really personal. And you got the purple lights and all of this, but you know, this is all right for today, I guess. I'm gonna play this little part here. I always like to start with a foundation, so then it's gonna carry the beat throughout the whole beat. Something like this, for example. So on this beat in particular, that's what I kind of started with as a foundation. Yeah, Afro type beat. So you could hear the shakers, you could hear a couple perks, a couple toms. I just set the foundation, and from there, I just build up. There's really no like, it's not magic. People think like production is like magic, like it's impossible to do. It's really simple. I like being super experimental with the sound, so you might hear this and be like, what the hell is that? Why does it sound weird like that? It is a guitar and it's reversed. I like reversing every single thing anything that you could use to make music, I'm gonna try to reverse it 110%. Puts you in a space where it's like you can't express it but you can feel it. Does that make sense? It brings you somewhere, right? And it just it helps me express what I feel inside. Is what I try to say. There you go. And with something like this.
The time where you wrote about love, where you produced a song about love?
So yeah, actually, I just made a song recently about love. It's about a guy. Right? He went through a certain situation, and now he's like kind of down, right? The song just basically talks about how he went through something. He thought it was gonna be a good outcome, which didn't happen. He began to blame love, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not love the problem, it's just the timing. I guess, and that's basically what the song talks about.
What was like,
deeper inspiration behind the whole timing aspect of things?
Well, I mean, I was in a time of meditation. I was in a time of meditation this one day, and I came across this famous scripture we all know, which is Songs of Solomon 8 verse 4, which says, "Do not awaken love before it's time." And that's how I just got the concept of, like, sometimes we rush things, right? So sometimes it's not that you're doing something bad. It's not the time for it, right? Everything's beautiful, but everything is even more beautiful when it's in its season. So I guess that's what inspired this song. That verse.
What is love? Ooh, let me know what is love. Let me know what is love. He said, I am love. Ooh, you should know I am love.
You told me that a couple years ago God gave you a revelation about love. What was that?
Oh yeah, I was writing a song in 2018, 2017-ish, and it was a love song to God. And in that moment, God said to me that each time I say I love you, like me saying I love you to God, each time I say that to God, there's a silent T-O-O, after that, because I didn't initiate the love. God started loving me before I was born, and so each time you tell God I love you, you're actually saying I love you too, because He expressed His love for us by giving up His Son, and so that's kind of why I wrote this song called ILYT, I Love You Too, because it's just to like shed light on the fact that we're not the initiators of love, we're actually just responding to it.
It's my heart's response to you. Yeah, I love you too.
Wrap me in your arms, you surround me with your love. Right in your arms, you got me all the time. Right in your arms, you got me all the time.
Hey, Tiff, you putting me on the spot. You want me to talk about Valentine's Day? Okay, all right. You know, just as much as Valentine's Day has come to be associated with love, and may I dare say that the right kind of love is what is really needed. You know, we've got the erotic type of love, which is called the eros. We've got the storge type of love, which is love that parents have for their children. We've got the filial type of love, which is love between friends. And then we've got the agape type of love, which is the love of God, which is shed abroad from God to man. And then as a child of God, you and I are expected to carry the agape love. I pray that on this Valentine's Day, that you will show somebody the agape kind of love, the love that caused God to send His Son into the world to die for us, so that we through His death might have peace one with another. I bless you and I thank you so much. Tiff, did I do a good job?
Yeah, you did.
All right. God bless you.
Thanks, Dad.
And to me, that's what Valentine's Day is about. It's not necessarily just for couples and just for romantic love. It's just a reminder to tell the people around you, people that you may see every single day, that you love them. That doesn't have to be your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever. Like, that could be your sister or your dad or your cousin or your teacher or whatever, like your friend. And I just think Valentine's Day gets a bad rap, but I love love. I'm an advocate for love. I'm an advocate for romance. So that's why I think people need to understand what love is, because then they'll understand that a day focused on love is not really what it's been painted as.
What is love? Ooh, let me know, let me know.